Go back to the episode of Fishing with Flair. Today I'm going to be going over my top 5 fall baits for that time of year. The water's starting to cool down now. Right now it's about 70 degrees outside. The nights are getting down about 40, and I've got my top 5 favorite baits that I like to throw to catch fish. First one is going to be a chatterbait. And these aren't going to be in any particular order. And I like the chatterbait because it's a good versatile bait. You can throw it around wood, you can throw it on rock, laydowns, stumps, through grass, anything like that. As far as color-wise go, it really depends on the water clarity. I like to stick to white and chartreuse is my favorite, but I will go to black and blue every once in a while, or green pumpkin. Next, I like a Squarebill crankbait. I like the Squarebill crankbait because, again, you can throw it around rocks, laydowns. You can rip it out of grass. My favorite places to throw them is probably bumping around rocks. In the fall, the fish move shallow. They go up in the creeks, they follow the shad, and what better way to imitate a shad than a shad profiled crankbait like a Squarebill. Next, we have a jig. My favorite color of jig, black and blue, but honestly, in the fall, any color really works. Black and blue is just my favorite because I fish a lot of dirty water. I like a jig because you can pitch it, you can flip it, you can skip it, you can swim it, you can do anything with it. My favorite places to throw it are right around brush piles, laydowns, stumps, logs, that kind of stuff. Next is a topwater walking bait. This one here is a Livingston Lures Walking Boss, and I like this around laydowns and rocks mainly. I try not to fish around grass because it gets caught up, but the best thing to do is to take one of these out in the morning and throw it next to a laydown, up against the bank or on rocks where you think the bait fish might be schooling. It's a great bait to imitate a shad. And lastly is a finesse bait, and this one is going to be a shaky head straight tail worm. This is one of my top baits year round, and I like this in the fall as well when the fishing is tough, when they're not feeding on bait fish, when they're just kind of being lethargic, sitting around, hanging around. And I like to go with green pumpkin, sometimes a June bug depending on the water clarity. And like I said, I like to throw this around rock piles. I'll even throw it around laydowns if I feel like that's what they're at and they're biting real finesse-like. And just a little bit about fall fishing is they move shallow. These things to keep in mind. They move shallow, they feed on bait fish, match the hatch is the biggest thing, figure out what they're eating, match that hatch, and just look for schooling fish, especially in the morning. A lot of times they get schooled up, and that's when they do most of their feeding, is either early in the morning or late at night. And fall is one of my favorite times to fish. It's shallow water fishing, it's power fishing, it's all the stuff that I love to do, all the baits I love to throw, and it's definitely a good time of year to catch a big bass. That's it for today's episode, and thanks for watching.